Hello, everybody, and welcome to Ohio State Calling Show here at Ohio State, the voice of college football. I'm your host, Garrison Gaddy. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you would ever like to become a member and check out some of the rest of the content, be able to talk to me on a personal level, and go ahead and send me DMs and what you like to talk about throughout the week. Go ahead and follow me at Buckeye_Gaddy. But again, if you like to become a member, go ahead and click that join button where you can see our three tiers that you can see on the bottom of the screen scrolling. The Block O Club, JT wasn't short, and the last tier, we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. Also, if you do like to keep up to date with what's going around the landscape of college football, go ahead and check out our website, www.vocfb.com, where we have our awesome writers there who do a great job keeping people up to date with everything that's going on around the sport. Also, you can, if you need to, and you want to see what else we have here at Ohio State, the Voice of College Football, or for any other program in the other people's teams, you can see the weekly schedule for all the shows. Myself, you can catch on every Monday at 7 p.m. and also, of course, Thursdays at 7. Now, not look at everybody. This is the call-in show, so this is your day. Of course, a few things I am going to get to and briefly talk about, but I do want to set the tone here because I think there's a few things I think you guys would even like to talk about here regarding Ohio State. And shout out to Jam, as always, the Honorable Jam here joining the show. Thank you for being here, my friend. Again, everybody, tell me what you guys want to talk about. Any questions you have, any comments you have about again, whatever goes around Ohio State football, what goes on around the sport itself, or anything that you want to see this upcoming game, of course, where Ohio State travels to Champaign, Illinois, to face the number 17 Illinois Illini. But I want to start here and talk about what Peyton Pierce, Ohio State linebacker, said. He said just recently this week, yesterday actually, and it's in regards, of course, bigging up Matt Patricia, but then there's a deeper discussion to be had about Jim Knowles. So Peyton Pierce says, speaking about Matt Patricia, I got to know him pretty well in the offseason. It was a lot different than the previous defensive coordinator. I talked to Patricia more probably his first 2 days here than I did with our old defensive coordinator my whole time being here. That says a lot. And there's a few things that I want to point to in this conversation, in this discussion, this topic. First, we're going to start with the more important person. That's Matt Patricia. When Matt Patricia came to Columbus, Ohio, I had my reservations, not with him as a football coach, but just him as a person. I wanted to know, based on what other people say about him, I don't know if he's going to get well to players. I don't know if he's someone that I trust in the program. I'm not sure if you can go and actually talk to these high school kids and actually go out there and recruit. And then, but you look at Matt Patricia, just physically and mentally, he seems to be in a different place, right, than he was some years ago. And and then, when I saw early, in the off season, I see the way he's interacting with the players. I see how he talks about going out there and recruiting and how excited he said he was about that. That's why I kind of got excited about having him on the team. On top of that, Matt Patricia he's done such a great job, being on the field with the guys, speaking with them, always giving feedback with the players, having it's not that he's not just talking to the stars. Like Matt Patricia talks to all of his players, every single one of them. And so then, Peyton, and mind you, Peyton Pierce, it's not like Peyton was some podunk recruit, 1-star out of high school. He was a top 200 recruit. He was a really I think it came down to Ohio State and other, he had a bunch of offers. That's just the truth of the matter. And well, he was a he was a top 20 linebacker out of high school. Like Peyton Pierce was one of the best players coming out of high school. That's just a fact. And mind you, like, I'm looking at it right here. Actually, I just looked it up. What's funny about this is that if you look on 247, it says that the primary recruiter was Jim Knowles and the secondary was James Laurinaitis. I would have to imagine that James Laurinaitis took the, did all the work. That's what I think happened. Because there's no way that you can be the primary recruiter of a player, and then when he gets on campus, you show him no attention. You don't talk to him, basically. And that's what it sounds like. Like if Peyton Pierce is saying that in 2 days he talked to Matt Patricia more than he did while you were there for years, that's crazy. That's crazy. And mind you, what Peyton Pierce? Yeah, he's the class of 2024, so he's been there for some time. And now let's move this discussion to Jim. As much as and Jan, correct, he's enthusiastic. That's a great way to describe Matt Patricia. He is. It's very clear that Matt Patricia feeds off of his players' energy, and his players feed off of his. I haven't seen anything like this in some time. Like for a coordinator at Ohio State, 'cause I mean, like Chief Kelly, he's in the booth right most of the time. And, I don't really see that dude. I mean, I think that the guys like Chip Kelly, but I think on defense, because defense is such a will. Like when I say will, I mean like skill versus will. It's such a will thing. Like you have to want to go out there and hit people. That's just the truth of the matter on defense. And so when you see that, it's awesome. But with Jim Knowles, when he left, Ohio State fans, and rightfully so, at first we were kind of upset about it, but then I think we kind of understood, like, maybe it's not that bad of a situation. Maybe it's not that big a deal. And, when he left, a bunch of, not just Penn State fans, but I mean, even, the team up north fans, they they acted like we just lost Jesus Christ himself. That's what they acted like. And for some odd reason, people around the country who thought it's almost like they thought Jim Knowles created the Ohio State defense in silver bullet. Now, don't get it wrong. Don't get it twisted. That Ohio State defensive scheme was lost before he got there. But like the year before he came, it was bad. It was terrible. And then the first season of Jim Knowles, it improved. And then the second year, it improved, but we were still giving up big plays. And it was evident. So I wouldn't even call that good defense. And in the third year, when you have a bunch of battle-tested kids or young men that have been in big games, they're a bunch of high-end recruits. JTT was the number 2 recruit out of high school. Jack Sawyer was the number 3 recruit out of high school. Same season. You got Denzel. I mean, you got Denzel Berg for all intents and purposes, but he's a decent player. You got Davidson Igbinosa, who's a freshman All-American. You got Caleb Downs, who's the best defensive player in college football. You got Sonny Styles, who's one of the best players out of high school. Everything. You had Tyleek Williams. Everything was there for you. Like it was almost. I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of coaches would not have failed with that defense. That's a fact. And it took Ryan Day going into your office, putting his foot on your couch in your house, and telling you, "Hey, change it up." Because after that Oregon game, that Oregon game was one of the worst days of in Ryan Day's career. I would have to imagine. And so I when I look at Jim Knowles now, when I think about him, shout out to Don, man. Glad to see you, Don B. When I look at what he's doing at Penn State right now, and then when I see guys like Peyton Pierce, because Peyton Pierce didn't have to say this. Peyton didn't, because the truth is, in all reality, when you say something like that, you have, and these guys like Jerry Emmett, they have these guys trained to talk to the press, or to talk to media trained. And so, like when you say something like this, Peyton Pierce has to know someone's going to pick that up. They're going to pick that up when they hear that, and they're going to run with it, and they should, because it's first off, he's telling the truth, and there's nothing wrong with that. But yeah, man, Jim Knowles, I have never seen somebody benefit so much from Ohio State as Jim Knowles has. And it's not that Jim Knowles isn't a good DC. He has a track record. He's a good DC. But I as I look at it now, what's happening over at Penn State, and then when you saw UCLA rip them a new arsehole, um, it's amazing to me, and it's because everything that us Ohio State fans said about Jim Knowles has become true, and everything, all the haters that when Ohio State hired Matt Patricia, everything that everyone said, and mind you, I think it might be time, it might be receipt season now. It might be receipt season because what everybody said about Matt Patricia is what Jim Knowles is. And what everybody thought Jim Knowles, everything they said about Jim Knowles is what Matt Patricia is. People are going around talking about how Jim Knowles is the best DC in America. No, no, he's not. He's not. And everyone's saying, "Oh well, oh man, well look what Matt Patricia." And again, these are just butthurt Lions fans that just happen to be Wolverine fans. They're saying, "Oh man, well, did you see what he did over in Detroit when he was the head coach? Oh man, did you see what happened? Oh my God, he coached under Bill Belichick, so that means he can't be good at all. That had to be all Bill Belichick. No, there's nothing that Matt Patricia has ever done in his career that would tell you or show you that he's a good DC. Excuse my language. Actually, no, I got my cousin. I'm gonna wash my mouth here. I'm gonna wash my mouth. The main point is, everybody, is that it is glorious. It is stupendous to see what has become of Jim Knowles and what has become of Matt Patricia. And it's clear as day. And I'm going to bring this up real quick because I think Jam, where is this comment, Jam? There we go. Knowles is into the X's and O's, not the players. Yes, that's a fact. And what's funny about it is that I would think, right, that the guy who's been in college his whole career would be into the players because the college game is more. You're also trying to build young men to be men. And the guy in the NFL, bro, you're collecting a paycheck. And it's a real job. It's a man's world. You got to go out there and earn to keep. So in my mind, the rational mind would think that Jim Knowles would be what Matt Patricia is, and vice versa. Whereas Jam is correctly saying here, Jim Knowles is the X's and O's guys and not for the players. It's crazy because Matt Patricia is both of those things. And mind you, if you go back and you listen to some of the Jim Knowles press conferences, and by the way, everybody, I'm getting long winded here, but I had a lot to say about this because I was on top of this throughout the off season, and I'm so happy that I have this vindication now. But I do want to put the call in link right now in the chat. Anybody, if you want to call up and talk about anything regarding Ohio State, please do so. Again, go ahead and like, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. But it's just amazing to me what Matt Patricia has done for this program and what he's doing with these players. And I'm sorry. And if you go back and if you listen to like Jim Knowles talking press conferences, Jam, and everybody else, it's really bland. He doesn't really like say much. Where when you listen, I found this out. It was clear in the offseason when you listen to Matt Patricia, it's like listening to a high schooler. It's like going from listening to a third grader to listening to a college professor. That's what it sounds like. And Jim Knowles is a third grader. Matt Patricia is the college professor. And so, yeah, man, it's again, everybody. We won this in the deal. We won this trade, or not trade, but I mean this bargain. We got rid of Jim Knowles. He was gone. He thought he deserved a bunch of money that Ryan Day said. And Ryan Day said, "No, you don't." And again, I think people need to remember this. During a championship run, he thought that was a good time to negotiate for a contract and ask for more money before we got a national championship. The nerve. They admitted it gall. So right now, Matt Patricia's in Columbus, Ohio. He's sitting here on the verge of helping Ohio State go back to back. He's on the verge of watching of Ohio State not having its greatest defense of all time. I think possibly we still got to wait for the rest of the season, but there's a chance that can happen. And Jim Knowles right now is on a 3-2 team who just gave up 42 points to the worst Power 4 team in the nation. That's the difference between what we have now and what we just had. But again, everybody, that's it. Garrison's done ranting about that. Again, shout out to everybody here. Aaron, I see you. Aaron, tell Garrison, and I'm telling you, it's just amazing. And I think what I'm going to do tonight, I'm going to go through my receipts. I'm going to go through receipts and pick out everything that I heard people say about Ohio, about Jim Knowles. Mind you, here he is. Here's one of them, everybody. My boy Johnny Olden says Jim Knowles still has the blueprint. Penn State will shock OSU this year. Fine. But Johnny, you are one of those people. You are one of those people that when Jim Knowles left, you said, oh man, what are you guys gonna do? You thought Ohio State would be up in the dust. You thought our defense would get worse. You thought that's what you thought. You thought that Matt Patricia would be good at Ohio State. You thought that. Now look at you. Eat your words. Eat your words. Now. We got some more. We'll say Juju says this defense not better than Mitch 2023, especially given the offense that defense won the Natty. By the way, Juju, you see everybody, Juju, one of my boys. But this is why you should actually do research, like Garrison does. Ohio State has played a tougher schedule than what you guys did in 2023, and we give up less points than you. You guys give up 6 points per game. We give up 5. Georgia, 2021 Georgia, Juju give up 5.5 and a half, 5.9. So again, if we're gonna come in here, and say things, let's be factual. Let's be factual. Because at the end of the day, you guys thought that when Jim Knowles left, Ohio State would be up in the dust, and now we're better than we were. It's a beautiful thing. Hate to see it, don't you? But all right, everybody. Before we get to the callers, real quick, everyone. Quick message here from the Voice of College Football.
College football is even more exciting when you've got some action on the line, and the games are even better when you're cashing in. And the Voice of College Football is the place to be to get the greatest value. Start with my picks. 75% against the money line, 58% against the spread, and I've got a 40-plus year track record. 11-0 in the college football playoff for me last year against the money line, 8-3 against the spread. And I'm just the warm-up act. Steve Merrill of Wager Talk is our ace in the hole, show stopper. 7 years with the Voice of College Football, over 30 years in the industry. Steve gives us analysis on all the big games, but you can't miss Steve's weekly under-the-radar pick. 28-12 against the spread the last 3 years. You also get picks from some of our top analysts here at the Voice of College Football, including Corey Bratta, Matt Zemek, and Steve Dace. Check out those numbers. Become a YouTube or Patreon member for just $99 per month. Go to the main channel on YouTube, click join, and then select a betting tier. Do the same thing on Patreon. Make 2025 a winner now.
All right, everybody. Let's get to our first call here. Tyler, man, how are you, my boy? You all right?
I'm great, Garrison.
Glad to hear that. Glad to hear. What's on your mind, brother?
You know, Garrison, I was one of those people that said this was going to be the best defense in college football at the beginning of the year as well. I told you that.
Bro. No, you did a long time ago, man. And, I was like, I wanted to see it, but, even Mike and I, we had conversations about this, and we said, bro, this defense has the personnel to be better than last year, and it's showing. It's showing right now. I mean, the complete domination out of this team or this defense.
So, and with Johnny and all you other Michigan fans, you're eating your crow now. We proved to you that we have a far better defense now than we had last year. Jim Knowles was the problem.
And you know what's funny? And it's funny. What's funny about it is that when as Ohio State fans, when we tried to explain to them how Jim Knowles was the problem, they're like for some odd reason they think that they have more information on our team than we do, or that they focus on our team more than we do.
We live rent free in their heads, Garrison.
Oh, we do. And it's a beautiful thing, Tyler, because guys like Isaiah Hole said that this year's Wolverine defense was going to be just as good as last year, and that their D line was going to be as good as last year's D line, but it's not. It's not.
Do what we call that, Garrison? We call that assuming.
Hey, what does assuming do, Tyler?
It makes an ass out of you and me. Like, I didn't assume that we were going to have the best defense in college football because I knew we were. I trusted a guy that won 3 Super Bowl rings.
All right, well, 1 second, Tyler. See, and this is my problem. So Johnny Jones Jr. says, "How is Jim Knowles the problem now after winning a natty?"
Simple.
Again,
he never set up the defense.
Dude, again,
against the running quarterback.
Exactly. Again, Johnny, let's talk football for a second. You have to understand that Jim Knowles' defense plays. We from the 20 to the 20, bro. We'll give it up. We'll let you go. We'll let you drive down the field all game. Then we'll go ahead and try and beat them in the red zone and stop them from scoring. But the truth of the matter is, man, like Johnny, you guys are like looking at hindsight, bro. For 2 years before that third year, bro, that defense improved, but we gave up big plays. That's a fact. That's a fact. You in that Georgia game, in that 2022 game against you guys, we gave up big plays all season. We were one of the worst. Big play defense in the country. So again, if you guys I get it, and it's really cute. If you want to say how is Jim Knowles the problem, and you guys want to honestly, I don't get it. I think it's common sense because everybody talks about it. Oh, Philip, there we go. This too. Knowles did not know how to call a timely blitz. No, he didn't.
Nope.
No, he didn't.
He did not.
No,
And you know another problem I have with all these Michigan fans at Garrison? With claiming that Jim Knowles was the problem? Claiming that that Jim Knowles wasn't the problem. Well, if that game against UCLA ain't validation, I don't know what is. You give up 42 points to UCLA? Are you kidding me?
That's terrible. That's terrible.
Nico,
could you imagine if Matt Patricia let Minnesota do that? How people would talk about him?
Oh, he'd be fired immediately. I'm not kidding. He'd be fired immediately. Mm-hmm. That's embarrassing. Nico ran for 140 plus yards as a quarterback. That's the problem. He didn't know how to stop a running quarterback.
No, he didn't. But shoot, man, before I get to the next caller time, man, any lasting thoughts, anything on the game this weekend?
I think we're going to win 45-3.
45-3?
Because I just simply... everyone is saying that here's one thing I've noticed, Garrison. I've noticed with the beat media, they are going in every game. They try to give the opponent, try to find a touchdown for them. I'm like this. Where's Illinois going to score a touchdown? I mean, a touchdown, one at least. Other than Hank Beatty, I don't see where.
No.
Or they force a bunch of fumbles.
Mm-hmm.
That defense is atrocious. What do you think?
I think that. Oh, I'm sorry, man. My for some odd reason, my mic, not my mic, but my headphones went out for a second. Can you repeat that last part?
Oh, I was saying, other than forcing fumbles and Hank Beatty and Luke Altmaier, How is Illinois going to stay in this game? Because their defense is atrocious.
So on Monday, like this, here's my thing with them. Because I don't think Illinois is a bad team. I think they're just not set up to beat Ohio State or play or even be in the game against Ohio State because you have one of the worst O lines in the country.
Mm-hmm.
And and having Luke Altmaier has kind of cured that for them. He's a 3-year quarterback there, really one of the better quarterbacks in the country in the Big Ten. But if you can't do that, and you are an offense that lives off of big plays through the pass game, that's not the way to beat Ohio State. Like passing the ball against Ohio State is one of the dumbest things you can do in trying to win and if you think that's the way you can win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I mean, when you look at that, and then you look at the fact, again, their defense is atrocious, like you said, it's terrible.
Yep.
So no, I think Ohio State. I think I had this game. I said 43. Let me see it real quick. Yeah, here we go. I said 43-13 because I think they get a few big plays. They have a good kicker. I think they get 1 touchdown and 2 field goals. Their kicker right now, he's 11-12 from on the season. His only miss is a 20.
Kicker.
Yeah, I think they can get some field goals in this. But yeah, it's just a bad matchup for them. And that nice wooden turtle is going to stay in Columbus.
Yep, that wooden turtle is going to stay in Columbus. But I'm going to say this, Harrison. This team has only given up 2 touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
0 rushing touchdowns all year long.
It's again, bro. And I saw Jam said this earlier. It's still early in the season, and we still got to see what happens. And that's why, I've said, do I think this could be one of the best defenses of all time? Sure, but they still got to go out there, and prove it. But with that being said, up to date, they are on par with any defense that you ever want to talk about or better. That's just a fact.
We've only given up 5 points per game. I can count on my hand how many points we give up per game, Garrison, on average. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5.
It's a teams are struggling to get 2 field goals.
They're struggling to get first down.
It's crazy,
we are
man.
second in the nation in first and third down defense. You convert on the past 2 games, Garrison. Mm-hmm. Teams have converted 1 third down per game.
It's amazing. All right, my man. I gotta get to our next call, bro. Hey, you have a good rest of your night, man. Stay safe and OH.
IO.
All right, everybody. Before we get to our next call here, my boy Rob is actually and Kate Diesel down there, man. I can't wait to see him now. Talk, see what he has to say. Quick message here from the voice of college football. But I had it set up. There we go. Get your business, product, service, or personal brand to the next level by partnering with the Voice of College Football, and let's discuss how you also can reach your target market. The Voice of College Football is a growing network with a large following, so let's see how we can help you grow with us. Check out the experience of one of our partners, Dan Bing Win Agency, posted here on the screen, and just like them, we are here to deliver for you. Contact us at sponsorships@vocfb.com. Again, that is sponsorships@vocfb.com. Today. All right, man. Bring our next caller. Oh, real quick, everybody. Shout out to my guy Rob Howard, man. Gifting out 5 memberships. Appreciate you, brother. Again, everybody, if you want to become a member, go ahead and hit that join button. You see our 3 tiers, a Blocko Club. JT wasn't short because we all know he wasn't, and we don't give a damn, and you know the rest. Rob, my guy, how you doing?
Doing good, you?
I'm great, man. I'm great. You said you had something to talk about.
Man, I just hearing all this Jim Knowles nonsense and how he was not the problem. Let's just say that Ohio State has, I think, 14, 15 sacks so far this season, and that is 14, 15 more than we had around this time of the season with Jim Knowles. Jim Knowles was definitely the problem. Matt Patricia's defense has not given up any big plays. I mean, other than that, and breakdown play against Ohio. But other than that, dude, like it's a 9-day comparison. And it's just like all the trash talk this offseason, like, oh, Matt Patricia did horrible with the lines. He's gonna be terrible. He's gonna be a cancer to the locker room. Man, the players actually love him, and he's doing a way better job than Jim Knowles. And
I mean, they like him more. They like him more than they like Jim Knowles. That's a fact.
Peyton Pierce actually said, I've talked with Matt Patricia more in a week than I did during a Jim Knowles entire tenure. So
I started the show with that, and it's crazy. That's crazy. Because in my mind, I'm like coming out of high school, Peyton Pierce was a top 200 recruit. He was a top 15 linebacker out of high school. So he's not. He ain't chopped liver. So why are you not talking to him? That's crazy.
Yeah, it makes sense why he was never on the recruiting trail alone. He always had Tim Walton or Laurinaitis with him, or Larry Johnson. It's just like he's not a very personal person, a coach. So it's kind of like, I don't know, man. It explains a lot as to why we weren't getting some of these top-notch defensive players. Just like Dylan Stewart. I remember reading a quote saying, when Jim Knowles was pitching his defense, I just had no idea what I'd be doing in it. And that's exactly why we didn't get Dylan Stewart. That's why he's at South Carolina. I don't know if a lot of Buckeye fans know that, but that's the truth. But dude, like these last two games that Penn State has seen, it's what Ohio State fans saw pretty much the entire time before Ryan Day went to his office and said, fix it. And that's like literally one sack through two games, gave up over 50% of third downs, couldn't get off the field, and they gave up over 900 yards of offense within the last two games. And the UCLA game, man, just pathetic. 42 points. You let one man beat you. Yes, I'm talking about Nico Yamalava, who is complete garbage before that. And
you mean Nico, I'm not a believer?
And it was a first-time play caller at the helm as an interim coach, and he gets carried off the field, man. I'm like, what is going on, dude? This is just crazy. But yeah, dude, like we definitely got an upgrade with Matt Patricia, and it's quite obvious that Jim Knowles did not really. I mean, he had somewhat of a hand, but I'm just not convinced that he was the reason for the turnaround. People could say what they want, but what he pretty much continued with what he did at Ohio State before he was asked to change it, and that's at Penn State now. And that's probably one of the big reasons why he left. He's a stubborn coach, does not want to change his ways, wants to do it his own way, and he knows he can pull a fast one on James Franklin, because James Franklin is weak. He's not going to go to him and say fix it.
And everybody's not built to beat Ohio State. And he was there for 3 years, and again, like what's so frustrating about this is that I went to bat for Jim Knowles for a very long time, because I thought like a lot of the fan base was on him too much. But then, like after that Oregon game, that's when I kind of hit the switch, and I think that during that time, I got mad at Ryan Day about that game, because I say losing to Oregon last year, was not Ryan Day's fault, but he played a hand in it because, dude, you got to check your defensive coordinator, and after that game, that is what he did. A lot of people who want to jump on the balls of Jim Knowles, aka Michigan fans, they don't understand that, bro. Like that defensive switch happened because of Ryan Day.
Yeah,
and then a lot of people, what's funny about this, for a while now, for like during the all season, everybody's getting mad at Larry Johnson. Over the past few years, when it's clear as day now that the production from the defensive line went down because of Jim Knowles. That like Caden Curry would not, if he was still the DC right now, Caden Curry would be having the year he's having.
Nah, man. No, he wouldn't, dude. And that's what I love about Patricia. He just adds that, extra zest on the defense and, bringing those blitz packages and getting the edges more involved. And, just like, dude, Jim Knowles was garbage at OSU. No, we're not saying he was garbage. We're just
I hate when people do that.
Dude,
No one said that. No one said that.
You can't justify when you go. No, Johnny, that's not what we're saying. You can't justify when you play Michigan and Georgia and Oregon and you give up over 400 all-purpose yards.
One second, Rob. That's what I'm hearing. It's actually physically impossible to hear something that was not said. It's physically impossible. So, and we, see, that's what I'm talking about, bro. We gave him credit, but no one is above reproach. I'm sorry, Johnny. I can't relate to you as a fan. I'm not a Michigan fan, so I don't know what it's like to have my coach just be trash for years, or starting 0-5 against Ohio State and keeping him around. I don't know what that's like. I don't know what it's like to keep. What was his name? Dr. Blitz. What was his name?
Don Brown.
Don Brown. Yeah, Dr. Blitz. Don Brown. I don't know what it's like to keep a coach like him around for too long. So no, we can give him credit, but at the same time, we can criticize you. And when you give up 40 plus points to the UCLA, who's right? Not you.
This is all I'm saying. Like, dude, he had a great run defense. He had the back end playing great, but dude, it was the not getting the quarterback and causing confusion, having the backfield that just killed it, man. I don't care how good of corners you had. You're expecting them to cover the corners for 20 seconds, like long time, man.
Right.
You're letting the quarterback like Dylan Gabriel or and gosh, I can't even imagine the second time playing Oregon and that and we didn't get all those blitzes in the defensive scheme changed because he probably do it all again. So it's just like I give him his credit for the run defense and the back end.
Yes.
But I don't give him the credit for the change that happened. He was still playing his defense. He was, but that extra stuff, that was not him. The extra stuff, that was not him. If that makes sense.
I don't know, man. I just, again, man, like, I have tweets on tweets of defending Jim Knowles. So I don't have to be the person that has to, I can care less about giving him credit about something when I gave him a bunch of credit. I held his hand to the fire. I was right there with his sister Paula, sitting there trying to hold his hand, bro. But the truth of the matter is it's kind of like Ryan Day, right? We give Ryan Day credit for the things that he has accomplished, but we criticize him, we critique him, and rightfully so. We do that. Honestly, the only coach right now that I'm not critiquing yet is Brian Hartline, but it's because I don't have a reason to do it yet.
No, I don't have a reason.
But when I'm also not going to sit here and say, oh, he's such a great offensive coordinator.
No,
Jim Knowles was brought to Ohio State to make the defense better, and Jim Knowles did that. With that being said, Jim Knowles did a lot of stupid crap. That's and like for all you Wolverine fans, basically you, Johnny. Who are you to say different when guys like Sonny Styles come out and say what was wrong with the defense, which is the same thing that we're saying? And that's my biggest problem. Like when the players say it, who are you,
man?
That's exactly, bro.
They experienced it, but dude, I've been trying to sit here and think about, be fair and impartial about there's a scenario where Illinois could beat Ohio State. The things I thought about is, Luke Altmaier just completely plays out of his mind. Maybe that won't be enough. They're at home. They have the fans in it. And, other than that, dude, I think Washington skills players are better than Illinois. And we saw how Ohio State shut them down. Coleman had that one big run for 30, I think it was like 53 yards. And then that was it, man. Like, other than that, like, I mean, dude, Luke Allmeyer is going to be the best player on that field for Illinois' offense, and he's really going to have to carry them, and they're really going to have to rely on him. So, but other than that, dude, I don't see a scenario where I think they keep it close until the fourth quarter. I think that they're the first team to score double digits.
I agree.
I may be wrong. So I have Ohio State winning
28. What score prediction did you have yesterday?
28-14.
Huh?
Ohio State 28-14. What, man? That's just my honest, dude.
No. And I'm not mad because you are a very fair fan. Like, you are not a fanboy. You're not a fanboy. But I have a couple questions for you now.
All right, man. Hit it.
Have you seen Illinois' defense?
Yeah, their secondary is just absolute garbage.
It's still depleted.
Yeah, it's still depleted.
And you. Well, how about this? Do you think Ohio State is going to run the ball a lot?
Man, that's one.
What do you think? Well, here's a better question. What do you think Illinois does to stop Ohio State from scoring 30 points?
Man, I just noticed Ohio State's red zone offense. It's not that great.
Yep.
They have to settle for field goals at times. So that's the scenario where I see it. But I just think Ryan Day has this new offensive approach saying, hey, I have a great defense. Let's get rid of some clock. Let's do some long drives. Let's do an 80-yard drive in like 9 minutes. That's just what I've seen over, the last, especially Washington. Against Washington, they came out third quarter. They took like 9 minutes off the clock. They've been controlling the time possession. So I don't think they'll be looking to score like quickly like we're used to seeing, accustomed to see with Ryan Day offenses. I think there's just that the approach is going to be a lot different, man. I think that they're going to try to hold on to the ball a lot and keep their defense fresh because they know that, okay, we have a really good offense. We have the best we have the best weapons in college football. We have Jeremiah Smith, Cardinal Tate, Max Clare. Brandon Ennis gets in on some. We have freshman Bo Jackson, who literally every time he falls forward, he gets like 4 yards. But I don't see them trying to, hit the home run ball all the time, especially when you have a quarterback like Julian Sand, who, okay, it's 36. Let's do a crossing route to Max Clare. It's 2nd and 7. Let's do a hitch route with Jeremiah Smith. So
one thing I'm really by the way, do you see what Jeremiah Smith's comments today?
No, I didn't see what he said.
Yeah, man. So he was talking about said a few things. He talked about like that play where on that Cardinal Tate touchdown, when there was 5 guys coming after him on the jet motion. And he was just talking about, it's funny because he said he gets frustrated sometimes, when because teams go out of their way to make sure that he can't get the ball. But he said, but that's when teams find out, like Cardinal Tate's a killer. Like and he said our running backs are killers, our tight ends, running backs, all killers. Then he also talked about Max Clare actually, and he talked about how and Ryan Day has actually talked about this before, because in terms of blocking and just strength in general, because they said Max Clare when he got to Ohio Columbus, he was the worst blocking tight end in the room. And so he wasn't that strong. He wasn't as strong as the other guys either. And he said, and Jeremiah said that during the offseason, Coach Mick actually had him be with him as a workout partner. And he said Max Clare didn't have that dog in him at that point. He said, but he's got it now. Like, what do you think about those comments?
Man, I don't know, man. I didn't really, notice. I didn't really look into Max Clare when he first got to Ohio State. I saw his tape from Purdue,
Mhm.
and I also know that he's not your average tight end. He's a lot quicker than tight ends like Tyler Warren, or he's more like, man, probably gonna laugh comparing the speed and the routes and be able to break loose. That's like kind of like Travis Kelce in a way, or Jeremy Shockey. Just comparing playing styles. But I just want to see him get more involved in the offense though, dude. I mean, I know we didn't bring him in just to block. Like, please, the dude is too good, man. Like, if he's doing that stuff at Purdue, he was clearly the offense. Like, give the
Yeah.
dude a chance. Give him a chance in the red zone, man. Get him involved in the red zone along with Jeremiah Smith. Get him involved on those short, 3rd and 4, 3rd and 6. You know, he's got that big body. Have him go down the middle. So it just doesn't make sense to me, man. I hope
Yeah,
they
I
get him more
agree.
involved. He's been the best tight end that they've had since Jeremy Rucker. So
Oh, for sure, for sure.
yeah,
And I think that, and I'll tell you what, man. I I, uh, I really like this tight end room, and I like that. You know,
Carmack as
in
well.
Ryan. Yeah, yeah. I like all of our guys. I think Christian Bennett is really pretty good. I think Jelani is one of the best blocking tight ends in the country. But every year, Rob, I try to find like a new thing that Ryan Day has added to his game as a coach, and him having an elite tight end room is like that next step as a coach, as a head coach, as a CEO of a program. It's really cool because this is definitely the deepest tight end room Ohio State has ever had. It really
Yeah,
is.
yeah. I mean, gotta give a lot of credit to Keenan Bailey as well, man.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, he was
Yeah.
talking about having the most best tight end room in the country, and especially this year, man. I mean, this is the year to get it done. But I mean, dude, they just got to find ways to get them more involved, man. It's just there's some things you can't waste, and it's someone like Max Clare or Will Carmack or Johnny Thurman. But just getting back to the kind of the Illinois game. I literally, stat for stat on paper, I was looking at, Illinois' strengths and just like, okay, Ohio State counters Illinois strength with the strength of their own. Like, Illinois has gotten to the quarterback 15, 16 times. Okay. Ohio State has only given up 2 sacks. So it's kind of like, I don't see a scenario where Illinois wins, man. Again, I think they keep it close to the 4th. But I just think it's going to be too much, man. And who knows? Maybe we'll see something surprising where they don't get to double digits, and Matt Patricia keeps proving everyone wrong. Especially that certain fan base
Yeah.
who just keeps doubting over and over again, man. But dude, other than that, man, just let people keep talking. We all know the fan base who keeps talking. The same fan
Yeah.
base that said we're gonna have a Michigan type of year when they won the national championship. They had this down year.
That was
We
always hilarious,
we
Rob. That was always hilarious to me because I
we
was like, our
yeah.
programs aren't built the same.
We lost too
They
much
aren't.
talent. We lost our offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, and we're gonna get our asses kicked against Texas. And we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose to okay, Johnny. I call you guys the usual suspects because that's what you guys are. The usual
Here,
suspects.
no, Robert. This is how I do it. I say the Great Lakes state of Michigan.
The Great Lakes.
Because that way I can still, because I am a proud Michigander. So that way I can keep it.
Yeah.
I don't say the M word. So you guys that you're Ann Arbor, you're Teton, that team up north, 7-5 program, regional. Oh yeah, Rob. I also call them the regional program.
The regional program. That's
The shoot. Shoot, man. Before I get to our guy Caden here,
I've never heard that.
Any last thoughts? Oh yeah, bro. Oh, I got that from Mike Valenti. He calls him a regional program.
Oh man,
It is.
Any last thoughts, man? You know what, dude? I came in the season kind of like, I'm gonna trust Matt Patricia. He obviously he's all we got. I'm gonna trust his his experience in the NFL, not as a head coach, obviously, but a defensive coordinator. And just like I didn't think he'd be doing this great so quick. But now that he's doing this great so quick, I'm really happy because to me it's a surprise, dude. I guess I wasn't looking at something that you guys saw. I knew we had the talent. I was never questioning the talent. It just there's always that learning curve and catch up for a defensive coordinator who has not been in college for quite some time.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So.
All right, brother, man. Hey, you let everybody know where they can find you?
Yeah, you can find me at my co-host Peter and I at Buckeyes Battle Cry. Battle Cry is one word. We go live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. And we're always putting out the new and latest content just college football, Ohio State football in general. But always nice to be on the show, Garrison. Yeah, definitely,
man, I
brother.
appreciate you, brother.
All
you have a good night, all right? All right, everybody. Well, before we get out of here, we have our last caller, our favorite caller, friend of the show, Caden the Diesel. Caden, how you doing, man?
I just got out of the shower, and I heard Johnny.
Whoa, wait a second. You can't start the conversation out like that.
Well, I'm sorry, Garrison. I literally just got off of work about an hour ago, and
you can't start the conversation out like that, bro. What you mean?
Garrison, I'm sorry, but you know what? I heard Johnny Olden here yapping his mouth. Well, Johnny Olden's mouth's about to get shut up come November 29th because that's all they've been doing is yapping like a bunch of little puppies. Jeez.
Oh, by the way, down beyond, yeah, same barber, man. What I did down was that I told him, I said, look, because I shout out to my boy Ron Tarver down there who said like the fresh line. Yeah, I told him, I said, look, bro, I got some jerk members of my show community. So when you get right here, push that thing back a little bit right here, and push that line back a little bit. What were you saying, Caden?
I heard your buddy Johnny Olden over here yapping like a little puppy because they're trying to say all these excuses on the internet. Man, shut the up, Johnny Olden. Man, I swear to you, Johnny Olden, November 29th, Ohio State's coming up to Ann Arbor and whooping y'all like you never seen. Okay, you want to say 5 in a row, this and that, all these excuses. Please. You're boring me to death with all your excuses. And actually, I've got a little piece of the dice for your buddy John, or this little line for him. I'm really jealous of all the people that who have never met you, Johnny, because you're pretty interesting for how much crap you talk within a month. Jesus Christ.
Wait, real quick, Caden. Johnny, are you guys doing your call-in show tonight, and are you on there? And if so, Caden, will you be calling into the Michigan Boys College Football Show?
You know I'm going to give Johnny Olden a piece of my mind. I'm going to give it like old Elston 3:16, son. Is Johnny really the next big thing about Michigan being the biggest Michigan fan, or is he the biggest whining Michigan on the planet? Because let me just say this to the scum fans. November 29th is when we shut your mouths and we put you back in the cage where you belong. Because the Big Ten isn't where the puppies walk. This is where the big dogs roam. Ohio State is the team that backs it up and beats people up. Let me just make that clear. Our defense.
I will say this, Ken. Let me shoot my man Johnny some bail because my boy Juju here makes a good point. What you're saying, Johnny, that's Steve Deese. That ain't him.
Him and
Like,
Steve,
like, bro, because you gotta remember, Caden, how long have you been listening to Johnny's show?
like what, 3 months of him whining?
Okay. So I've been listening to Johnny Olden's show, since 2000 and I think 18 or 19, and so no 2000, yeah, I think 18. So I was there for when Johnny Olden used to every Saturday. Johnny or not Saturday but Sunday at the show, he would destroy his team. Kate, if you go back and look at some of those old Johnny Olden episodes before they started beating up, before they started getting good, Johnny don't care. If Michigan's bad, Johnny's gonna kill his team. He's gonna slander his own team. That's a fact. He's like Johnny kind of reminds me how Mike Valenti is with Michigan State. He will go scorched earth on his team if he doesn't like what he sees. And actually, I'll be honest with you, on Johnny's post game show, or his the game after their last week, Johnny hasn't been glowing about his team lately. He hasn't been. Now he might fight me about my comments on them, but that's just because he wants to argue with me. That's my man. We can do that. I'm the same way with him. But no, Johnny hasn't been pumping his team up this season.
You know what, Garrison? I'll cut Johnny some slack this time because, like, the last, I don't know what year I've been listening, year and a half, 2 years, 3 years I've been listening to him, but I haven't called in for those last couple of times, those last couple of years. I mean, I don't know how much gloating that guy's doing, but it seems like he just likes to gloat too much about his team. But let me just say this, and to your buddy Corey Banks here and Johnny Olden, I'm just going to say this simply to end it for you boys. Come November 29th in Ann Arbor, we're really going to see who's going to step up and who's going to play some real football. But I'm done with them scum fans, and they can get out of here before I roast them anymore like roasted barbecue. Let's talk about Illinois. Illinois, please excuse me. They're the bottom of the barrel like Iowa and Nebraska. Please.
No. Come on. That's a good football team. Are they Ohio State level? They're not Ohio State level, but that's a good football team.
Yeah, when we play them Saturday, we're going to beat them 49-3.
You got 40. Is that your score prediction? 49-3?
Did you hear me correctly? 49-3, Garrison.
Hey, Juju. I vehemently disagree with you on that, Juju, because I'm not liberal and I like Panda Express. But what are you saying?
I said you heard me right, Garrison. 49-3.
No, I don't think that's bad because you see, Kate, I have 43-13.
And the reason I have it at that is that our defense scores the first couple touchdowns and gets a lot of good sacks and forced fumbles. And they start hitting them hard in the first couple quarters. And the fourth quarter, Jeremiah Smith and Carnell Taylor just going to be eating that secondary like they'd never done. Washington, please.
No,
we smoked them. Texas.
Yeah, but our red zone offense has to be better. I mean, when you can do this against Illinois, you could do this against Washington, but when we play real teams,
hey, hold on, Garrison, hold on. Corey Banks, what's your excuse going to do when we drop 5 in a row come late November? Oh, I don't know. We're gonna beat your carcasses so bad that y'all gonna be crying all the way back home like a bunch of little. The only people that are making
Juju makes a good point. He says, "Good week to get your run game going." I agree, and this is what I mean, Kate. The red zone thing, man. It has to get fixed this week. And if you're gonna fix it, I want to see it with our run game. I don't want to see us passing in the red zone. I don't care to see a pass in the red zone this week.
And let me just and Ron Traver, your buddy here in the comments, is really loving this. Is loving me roasting you. Yo, homeboy.
Let's talk about Illinois. I don't want to talk about because we got to get out of here pretty soon. Here, I got like a minute left.
You
So,
don't want me to roast Johnny Olden and them because they'd be out of here quicker than crying little.
well, Johnny's got a show to do right now. He's gone. Johnny got a show to do. But no, like,
See, prove my point.
what do you? Yeah.
Proven point. He proved my point. He ain't nothing but a little whiny. But here's my thing, Garrison. Ohio State just don't beat.
What was that?
Oh, I had sound effects running there for a second because I'm about to start roasting your boy. But I'm gonna tell you this, Garrison. We're just gonna simply beat the living out of Illinois, and when we beat the out of Illinois, I'm gonna call back in. You better tell me, Caden, you were dang right about that.
Right. I'll tell you were right.
And to every
Right,
Skull fan listening, you better watch your mouths because I'm gonna be coming on here every single week, and I'll come on the Michigan show, and I will absolutely cook y'all, and I'll do it over and over and over again. I don't care if I get banned off this network because of Mark Rogers. So be it. So help me God. I will come back and I will roast y'all like I never did before. And Garrison, go Bucks, and we y'all know we're going 12-0.
Oh yeah, I can see it too, man. But you have a good night, man. Stay blessed and OH.
Oh.
All right, everybody. Look. Again, everybody, thank you for coming to Ohio State calling show here at Ohio State, the voice of college football, here at the voice of college football. Again, if you haven't already, go ahead and also check out our website at bocfb.com/shop, where you can check out all the other things that we have on our website, from coffee mugs to sweatshirts to hats to hoodies. We have it all there. Again, bocfb.com/shop. If you haven't already, go ahead, please hit that like button, share the video, share the platform, and also subscribe. If you'd like to become a member, hit that join button. See our 3 tiers there at the bottom. Again, and as always, OH, IO.